All right, we are live. Hello, everybody.
What's up,
That
everybody?
was a good noise. I wasn't prepared, but I like it.
That you should get more prepared for good noises. This is a good noise only podcast. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Bias Cut, the loserist podcast about fashion led by two losers just living their life in the fast lane. My
Are we
name's
really just
Christian.
like down in the dumps today? Are we just like wallowing in it tonight? Is
Yeah,
that is
yeah.
that the vibe?
Yes, it is. So for everybody watching, um, I'm like freaking exhausted, unrelated to my excitement and thrilling love for this podcast. I'm just like, I'm dead. And I just want everyone to know that the effort today is going to be so minimal, so limited. We're I fear that maybe I'd say this too much on like a regular basis,
Okay.
regardless of content. But
Mhm.
don't expect anything from me.
So I'm carrying is what you're saying.
Yeah,
I'll lift
yeah.
you up. Listen, this is what I'm here for. I'm like a supporter. Okay. We did an exercise in my culture training at the office,
Uh
and they
huh.
put together like quadrants, and there's like executive type people and like analytical type people. I'm in the supporter corner. That's my personality type. So I'm here to lift you up is what I'm saying.
They gave you that. They told you you're a supporter.
You told me I'm a supporter.
They're like
That's why I don't get promotions.
you're not like a like effective or good.
No,
You're
but
more
you're
like
people like you though.
yeah. I mean that's great. I'm glad that they're like roasting you at
Yeah.
work.
Yeah,
Uh
I was getting too big for my britches. They just had to cut me down a peg, you know?
yeah, yeah, I like it. And I like the sound of it. Everybody who's watching, I hope you're having a good time tonight. Christopher said howdy. And anybody who is mistakenly somehow found this podcast on like Spotify or something like that and
How
you're
dare
just
they?
listening, we stream live every Thursday on YouTube, and we do so that the good people of YouTubetopia can comment and engage with us in real time.
It's just
Real
more fun
time.
that way. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more whacked and wild. Mm,
So should we dive right into the top headlines of the week?
I would
The
love
pressing
that.
subjects. They're actually not like crazy pressing subjects. We have a lot of fun stuff to talk about today. I'm actually excited about it. We were
Okay.
wallowing, but we're out of the wallowing. We got some good stuff.
Speak for yourself, buddy. Maybe you can cheer me up with this first topic.
Oh, I most certainly can. Because here's the deal. Have you been introduced to our Lord and Savior, our King Zaddy, PP?
PP?
PP.
Oh, PP. Are you
Not,
talking about the Prince of Dorne?
no, I'm talking about Philip Pline.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
love that guy. I love his clothes. I
No,
bought a
I'm
$5,000 hoodie from
thankfully
him.
I'm thankfully not talking about him. I'm talking about the great PP, Pedro Pascal.
Woo! Woo,
Oh,
woo,
bow, bow,
woo!
bow, bow, bow.
So, everybody knows Pedro Pascal is the zaddy who got his head crushed in Game of Thrones. Spoilers. Or the zaddy who never takes his mask off in The Mandalorian.
But
But
Offset, he wears it like a hat, and it's real cute. I don't know if you saw that.
we will have to pull that
You
up
pull it
either
up.
on the pod or after the pod.
Yeah.
But you know, as Zaddy thirsty Zaddy wanters, we
Mhm.
came across this article, the Pedro Pascal Cardigan Chronicles. And it just based on the title, it sounds like whoever wrote this at Highsnobiety is having as much fun as we are.
They really are. The opening line, they describe him as a cool slutty daddy, which is a little bit too sultry for a lead, in my opinion. Give him
Yeah.
the opposite of Barry the lead here.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, Queen. And I spelled that with a Q. I mean a K. So we got this first one. I mean, the cardigan's long, so it's not slutty, but does he have like a
No,
sheer top underneath?
It's absolutely a sheer top. And for our listeners who aren't getting the video experience, the pièce de résistance of this first look we've got here is a bedazzled cardigan. I don't know if they're rhinestones or if it's some sort of like knit lurex type thing, but it looks like a disco ball
Yeah,
of a
real
cardigan.
rhinestone cowboy.
Exactly.
And
go ahead.
No, he's got huge ass glasses on. He's got like it looks like a Starbucks.
That is a Starbucks.
Okay.
Indeed.
Starbucks sponsor of the pod.
The
Drink
bottom half,
Starbucks.
though, a
The
little
bottom
bit.
half,
It's kind of an afterthought,
it's casual.
and that's going to be
got
a
black
little bit of a
pants,
theme
black
here.
shoes.
He's all about the top half, I would say.
Yeah.
And now let's get back to this sheer, because it really does kind of bring the whole thing together.
Yeah, that's definitely
might say.
a whacked kind of goofy, kind of avant-garde. Well, it's probably none of those things. But if anybody watches my channel, you'll know that I've been talking about sheer tops and like the femme styling. And I mean, it's crazy, but it's an honor to see our heroes. Pedro obviously watches Brave New Wear show, and he said, "Okay, King, I'm gonna wear a sheer top."
Go off, King. So can I just say though, from my perspective, he's pulling it off. It's like a skin tight, probably some sort of like poly blend, right? Sheer top. And personally, I own 2 of these, or things like this. One is very similar vêtement piece, like skin tight, long sleeve, sheer, undershirt type thing, and the other is one of those Marine Sayer Crescent Moon skin tight tops.
Yeah,
and they're both so much better in theory than they are in practice.
LOL.
There are very few situations where I find myself actually willing to go for this skin tight, like skin tone sheer undershirt, and when I do, they have much less of an effect than I might hope.
And one of those situations is going to be next pod episode.
I
want to see you in the skinny moon.
All right, we'll get it going.
I think you either need to be a twink or you need to be built. That's probably
really, I think, what it is. That's super, super fair. Can we move on to look number 2? Let's keep
fit number 2.
Fit 2.
In the Cardigan Chronicles. We got Pee-Pee in front of like a Mandalorian red carpet kind of thing, and he's got like a knit cardigan, cropped length. It's brown buttons.
Yeah, like a window pane crochet. It's covered in holes. Again, showing some skin through it. A little bit of femininity.
He's busting out of this piece. He's busting.
When you were saying
you
need to be buff to pull off the mesh top,
yeah,
he's busting. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if this is the Last of Us muscle or the Mandalorian, but either way.
Listen, if Joel looked like that, whoo boy. Tess would have never given up her life. Spoiler alert.
Spoilers. If you haven't played the game, that is like, honestly, like I realized the other day, it's like that game's like 10 years old. And
don't remind me of these.
And then
things.
I like immediately turned into a skeleton.
Oh God.
So he's busting with this window pane cardigan on top. He's got big wide red pants on bottom.
He's busted it out with this one. He took our notes from the last look where it was just kind of boring black trousers, and he's like, okay. Interesting color combination. This kind of very straight up red. Like if you were to just like type in red into Google, this is probably the tone of red that would come up. It's just red. You know what I mean?
And I want to point out that Cowboy, he's in our DMs again, and he's saying this is a bad fit. IMO. I think the pants are acne.
Ooh. Okay. Do we want to argue, or are we going to I don't know, begrudgingly kind of agree?
I don't You know,
I don't
the
know.
thing
That's
is,
the
the
thing.
thing
I
is,
don't know.
I'm not that critical. Like, and I mean, I can be critical of people. Maybe we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But my feeling is like for this dude, he looks, at least on
Mhm.
top, he looks great, and he's trying something a little different. And
Yeah.
I can't always hold every human being to the standards, the high platinum standards that I hold myself to. And I'm like,
Sure.
that's fun. That's a passing look. I guess if I could say
Yeah.
anything, I don't know. I think that the silhouette of the pants
Mhm.
maybe would be better benefited from a different silhouette on top, but
Yeah, I hear that, but I think I understand what you're saying, which is that I appreciate the effort because especially in like male celebrity red carpet wear, or even just out on the streets, like the first look, he's just walking out of a building. You know, you very rarely see effort, or not
you're
nearly as
you
much as you do on the women's wear side,
you
right?
don't see them trying to get a fit off.
No,
Not enough. And he's walking out of a building just like us. Just like,
he's
the
just like
stars,
us.
they're just
He
like
drinks
us.
Starbucks just like us.
He walks out of buildings. Um,
Um,
cardigan number 3?
Number three, let's do it. So this one is actually a slightly different. He's tweaked it. He's still got a knit, but this
He's
time in a
freaked it.
very Ivy League kind of way. He has it tied around his neck and shoulders, tied off there, and then it's a button down
Mm,
underneath, and then he's got some kind of like dark khaki gray trousers
I
on.
like this fit the best, I think.
You think so?
Yeah.
As a fit, I think it works the best. It's the most cohesive, and it has the strongest point of view. Again, very big glasses, but working. They're working.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think any one of these pieces is my favorite individual piece that we've seen here, but as a look, 100%, this is the best.
And with the glasses, I think, it's like I just think it works better. I think it works
Yeah,
well. Honestly, IMO, the celebrities, they have stylists, people are dressing them or whatever,
yeah.
but
Unless you're Timothy Chalamet, because apparently he legit does just go throw on whatever he wants, and I do
you know,
respect that, even though it doesn't work a lot of the
I
time.
do not respect him at all. I've probably
Okay.
told this
Okay.
story a million times. I'll just say that
Let's argue, baby.
let's just say he went to the same school as me. Let's just say I know
No.
people who had classes with him. Let's just say in college, his style was vomit inducing.
Was this when he had a YouTube channel where he was modding Xbox controllers? Was that the era of Chalamet we're talking about?
I guess so. It's like my greatest tragedy of my life is like whatever twink it boy is like in vogue.
Mhm.
If somebody wants to compliment me, they'd be like, "Oh, your hair is like Justin Bieber. Oh, your hair is like Timothy."
So
And
it's
I'm
just
like,
jealousy. You're just green with
"Of
envy. And
course
you're
I am.
dragging
Of
us all
course.
down. Jeez.
That should have been me. I should have been popular."
I should have been Chalamet. I should have been in Dune.
Dune was great though. I love that movie.
Dune was dope. Did you see Bones and All?
No.
Shit was hot fire. And his costume design, whoever did the costume design in that movie, mwah,
Chef's
mwah,
kiss. Chef's
chef's
kiss.
fucking kiss.
Okay. Bones and all?
Bones and all. So just last thing on Pedro here.
Mhm.
This fit that we're looking at, which Pure Ounce says 90% sure the shirt is Gucci. I believe it.
Yeah, I believe that.
This makes me feel I wish we could see a full like C's Marjan Pedro Pascal fit.
Rest in paradise. Cesar Millan.
Rippers.
Yeah. Yeah. Some people think that the label just folded. No, they folded him. Folded him in half. He does not exist
Right in
anymore.
half.
Um,
You want to move right along? That was fun, but I'm feeling peppy now. We've gotten ourselves off the ground effectively here.
I'm feeling slightly more peppy.
Good. Because I want to talk about rage bait.
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever been baited into rage?
I've been
Christian?
thirst baited. Like
Yeah,
I was on
as have
Reddit
we all.
earlier, and there was a picture of a lizard with like a big ass,
Ooh.
and I fell right for it. I'm like, I like that lizard.
You
I
see
wanna-
that? You seen that video of that frog that yawns and then crawls into a hole and its ass is just fat as fuck?
No, I don't think I know this one.
Well, you're missing out. Apparently, we got the same vibe going
I
here.
guess so.
Anyway.
Nobody look at my search history.
Oh God.
Okay,
So,
so rage bait. You take
yeah.
it, Kay.
So for the most recent product collection, or let's take this back a step. For pretty much any collection in the modern day and age, any runway collection, they will invite lots of famous people, celebrities, influencers, all these people, and they will do like a red carpet leading into the show where these various influencers wear pieces from the new collection. And it's just another way to market them and get more brand buzz going.
Yes.
So they invited this one influencer here and gave her a Highsnobiety calls it out as $2,100 jumpsuit. You know what? Actually, let me go over a bit and we'll look at the original here.
OG Kush, yeah.
So it started off as this gray jumpsuit. I think it looks like a one piece, right? Am I?
Yeah. It looks like a Prada pajama.
And she did a little choppy, a little TikTok DIY type of hack.
Yeah.
And cropped off the top, so it's like a cropped button down, made some short shorts out of it, and made they're not jutes because it wasn't denim. They're more jumpsuits.
Yeah. She's got like a crop top. Her her midriff is exposed. It's like a skirt of some sort, I guess now. And then she put the pants on her boots.
So we're leaning into it here. Before we talk about the greater implications of this and maybe some of the behind the scenes stuff that's happening underneath, let's quickly give in to the rage bait.
Yeah.
Are you sufficiently enraged? How do you feel about this concept generally?
Oh, this look is boring. Listen, I think that you can do whatever you want with clothes and more power to you. You know, wreck them, do what you want. But it's like my feeling of this is all she is body. She is a body. So yeah. If I show my like how skinny I am, it's sexier. But like this looks like something that Karl Lagerfeld did at like Chanel in like the 90s, and it does not look like something that Mucha and my boy Raph are doing at Prada.
It looks like one of those things. I don't know if you watched Project Runway back in the day, but it looks like one of those things where they're like, you have 30 minutes to wow us. And they're just like, chop, snip, throw it on, like, okay, done. You know?
Yeah. Like literally, this is, and you know, Tim Gunn was like, make it work. And this is all you came up with. No, and like that's a brass tacks. I think that it's just not an exciting thing, and I don't think it's like it's just the unfortunate part about it is that you decided to modify your clothing, but I think they did a better job originally. I think it was weirder and more interesting when they put this tall, skinny person in like a baby onesie that's like gray wool. I thought that's more interesting. I think what you did is you're trying to thirst trap me, and you're not a thick lizard, so I'm not interested.
You're not a cocaine bear, which is where my sexual interests lie right now.
Okay. We'll get to it later.
So I want to talk. So let's pull back the curtain a little bit here, because there may be some stuff that people don't realize now that we've been sufficiently rage baited. Let's talk about how that is exactly the intent, and they went into it with the foreknowledge that that's what was going to happen, because this is a new season Prada piece. They give these to people to wear, to walk their red carpets, to their fashion shows, and they don't let anybody walk down that red carpet unless they've signed off on it. Yeah. So this was absolutely a marketing exercise conceived between both the influencer and Prada themselves, because they thought it was going to get people mad. And it did. It divided people very much. And we're kind of giving into it by just talking about it.
Yeah.
But I think it's interesting that kind of like subvertising that's going on, the trying to manipulate the populace. Okay.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like at the end of the day, they're giving away clothes because for publicity. That's the
Yeah.
point. So, like any news is good news. You could have like shit and throw it in the garbage or whatever. It's like when everybody was trying to burn their Nikes, and it's like you just made Nike trending. They they don't care. Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, almost certainly. Like, do I think that Raf and Mucho signed off on it? I don't think that they have the time to deliberate over every influencer.
No.
Um, and if I can get off any kind of quip or burn, I just want
Mhm.
to say that your idea was boring.
I
And
agree. I like your idea of the shitting.
yeah,
I would have liked if she was on the runway and went like, oops.
yeah, that
know?
would have. And then like it's a onesie, so you like see it in the butt. That would have been hard.
That
And
would have been the fire modification, is like sewing in and creating one of those like butt flaps.
yeah,
And she just like opens it up on the red carpet.
hold on, Killian, I'm hearing something.
Uh.
Yeah, we were just canceled from YouTube, and all of our viewers have left
We've been
because
scrubbed.
we were talking about diarrhea fashion. But sorry, that's what the next wave is. That's what avant-garde is. It's about talking about things that nobody else will.
Why do you think Rick Owens popularized the drop crotch?
Mm-hmm.
You got to make room for something. Am I right?
And that's diarrhea. But do you think that we just went right into this influencer's sick, twisted dreams?
I mean, most likely. I assume that's what the inside of every influencer's head is like.
Yeah.
That's just my assumption.
And it's true because I'm an influencer. We're influencing right now.
We're actually doing it. That's kind of wild.
Yeah. Do you have any more rage bait runways?
Do I have any more rage bait? I kind of do, actually. You tell me. You tell me if this is rage bait. Okay. So, what do you know about Harley Davidson?
They make them motorcycles.
They make the
They
big
make those
hogs.
choppers. They make the hogs. Yeah.
They make the hogs that go brrr, right?
Yeah.
So
What
they
about
just announced that they are starting up a more like fine clothing brand. I don't even know exactly what you would call it necessarily.
I don't either. And I'll stop the joke. I sent this to Killian the other night because I go on TikTok, but on screen we're showing what looks like kind of typical high fashion showing of garments like hanging from a rack. They're like these dark leather pieces that look like something from like a recent Balenciaga runway.
Mm-hmm.
It is presumably Harley Davidson pieces, but they're elevated. They're being displayed elevated, and it appears to be like a Harley Davidson attempt at like the Diffusion high luxury brand.
Absolutely. And this person, they described it as highly engineered apparel in their TikTok. And it says right after that they got an exclusive preview, which means that all of this was reviewed by a marketing manager over at Harley Davidson. And this text was very meticulously chosen, right? So they want it to be thought of and called highly engineered apparel. So they're clearly going for that next level. Because sometimes, I don't know if you ever go to thrift shops or whatever, check out what's on offer, but you'll see Harley Davidson stuff sometimes. But for a long time, I feel like what you'd see out of them is essentially like licensed stuff. It's kind of, they're probably buying unbranded leather pieces from China or Pakistan or Bangladesh or whatever, and slapping their Harley Davidson label on it and selling it for, a couple $100 or whatever the market can bear. So they're looking to go to that next level and charge the big bucks.
I mean, fundamentally, like any Harley Davidson piece I've ever seen is either like a t-shirt that just is kind of like promoting the brand, or it is clothing that it seems to serve like a very practical purpose for like when you're on your hog, because if you crash, you're obviously dead, but I guess you can imagine maybe the leather would protect you. But like they obviously Harley Davidson has made clothing for people who ride on motorcycles, but yuppies and hipsters are now buying it all up and wearing it to my local coffee shop. So
Mhm.
it seems like Harley Davidson's like idea. Let's cut out the middleman and
Mhm.
sell the yuppies overpriced clothing.
I
Um,
also there's one thing in this TikTok that I noted that was very interesting, which was this pile
yeah,
of very vintaged t-shirts.
yeah.
For listeners, it's a stack of probably, 20 to 50 t-shirts in various colors. And you can see just from the kind of texture of the cotton itself that this has probably been washed, worn, tumbled to have a very, very specific look and effect to it that is mimicking as closely as possible the vintage Harley Davidson stuff that's getting marked up in every vintage shop in every city throughout the world, essentially.
Almost certainly single stitch, almost
Oh,
certainly. Otherwise, those t-shirts are garbage.
it
If they
better
were to
be.
have more than one stitch,
Mhm.
it's like, why am I even wearing this?
What's the
Um,
point? And we did know at one point, seems like two is better.
yeah, it seems like it. It seems like if you had more stitches, it's
Just
like, isn't that more durable?
reinforcement, right?
Yeah, yeah, right? I don't know. Uh, but what I kind of thought was interesting about this preview, it seems like Harley Davidson is jumping on a weird bandwagon
Mhm.
where companies that make vehicles also want to make clothes.
Yep.
Like a good example, obviously, is like Porsche design. Like Porsche has a like high fashion collection. And for their credit, at least, I can kind of buy that a little for a second. Like Porsche is a very design company, and obviously is a luxury label.
Mhm.
And we're showing on screen right now. We got like a $2,000 leather jacket. It's that's expensive, but it's not that expensive. But we got like a $200 T-shirt, hat for $55. Like this is like premium price
Yeah, you've
clothes.
got like a padded, like kind of puffery coat that's almost $1,000. Like that's I think more than you'd pay for like even a Stone Island equivalent, you know?
Oh, you know what? Owned One said that apparently Caterpillar clothing is still popular in China. That's kind of funny.
Interesting.
Um, yeah, and the other like weirdo other situation that of like vehicle brands making like trying
I
to
was
make real
hoping you would bring this
clothes.
up. Yep.
You don't know what I'm gonna say next. We didn't discuss this.
We didn't, but continue. I think I'm reading your mind. I'm bringing it up, hopefully.
Okay, Ferrari.
Ferrari. Yep.
Was that what you were thinking? God damn
Absolutely.
it. Yes, so Ferrari, I mean, they've been making apparel, but apparently there you go, the new spring summer collection, Ferrari. That's kind of wacky. I mean, apparently Enzo Ferrari always thought of his brand as a racing company that sells cars on the side, but it seems like Ferrari thinks of themselves fundamentally as a brand,
Mhm.
and they do racing on the side. Uh, what's the hottest piece that we're looking at right now? Because they're
Yo, some of this is I
all
haven't looked at this. This is wild, okay? Look at
yeah,
the design versus the pricing on these t-shirts and hoodies.
yeah, they are priced like what you would expect a Ferrari owner to spend. And at least the Porsche design stuff that was overpriced, but it's like
Yeah.
a human being might buy a $200 t-shirt.
You can tell they actually hired somebody that has some sort of background in high-end apparel design, right? They're kind
Yeah,
of
or
going
like
for
like
this
they look like somebody who worked at Arc'teryx or something.
yes, exactly. Whereas, let's go back to
A
Ferrari.
Ferrari, it looks like, oh mamma
Whoo!
mia. I think I saw that t-shirt at H&M 10 years ago. Um yeah, I mean, clearly Ferrari is trying to leverage the cachet of their brand. in a way where they want to essentially be like, Ferrari is luxury, so if we make clothes, it's like high fashion.
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I want that. And I also am like, I've said it a trillion times before. High fashion brands just make clothes to sell the accessories. What's
Mhm.
Ferrari's angle? Do you make the clothes to sell the cars? Is the
Oh, that's a
clothing
fantastic question. I
is the
have to assume the clothing is downstream from the automobiles, right?
I have no clue. Because like if you told me, guess what? Ferrari actually makes most of its money selling merchandise. I could believe that in that I know the Ferrari team, like the F1 team is like the
Mhm.
most popular team or it's
Yeah.
like it's always been it's an iconic team. If you told me that fans most of the money comes from fans buying red hats, I
Mhm.
could maybe believe that. I could maybe
Sure.
believe it.
Yeah.
But I would assume to some
Mhm.
extent that Ferrari is doing this exercise as a loss leader thing. Like that would be my
Interesting.
guess. Like
Yeah.
it's like all about like further crafting the brand of Ferrari and like Ferrari means wearing an ugly hoodie and
Yeah. That's a fair point. I think you may have hit it right there that because there can't be the expectation that this is gonna grow into a massive vertical for them, right? It has to be just one corner of a larger strategy to be everywhere and own a certain type of customer's entire commercial output, essentially, whatever products they're looking for, right?
yeah, and I mean, for more context, it's like I know like a lot of other brands do this. I know
Mhm.
Lamborghini sells like ludicrously expensive like speakers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that's like almost half of that's a meme. I bet half of it is like one Lamborghini person was like, "Listen, these people are so dumb. We can sell a speaker to them for $40,000." And the other guy's
Mhm.
like, "No way." And they did and they
They
laughed.
absolutely can.
But Ferrari's not treating it like merch. Based on just like what we scrolled through, it looks like they're trying to treat it like this is fashion clothes to be worn by fashion types. And it's curious. It's a curious case of
Very.
them. And the last thing I wanted to say is
Mhm.
apparently Johnny Ive,
Okay.
iconic, probably the most
Uh-oh.
iconic industrial designer of our time,
Mhm.
formerly the like lead designer for Apple.
Mhm.
Apparently, his like firm that he now runs privately has been commissioned by Ferrari for a period of time. I don't think they've released or announced or shown like what he's been working on. Is he designing a
Interesting.
car for them? Is he designing the Ferrari pod? Who knows?
Very interesting. Although I will say, I think he also might have been involved with Theranos.
No,
I
Johnny
just
Ive?
watched yeah, I just watched that Dropout show, and I think, unless I'm mistaken, unless she got somebody else from Apple that worked on that, and now I'm
I
looking that
read the
up.
book when it came out, Bad Blood, and
That's a fantastic book. That got me.
that's a
That's
great
what
book,
first got
guys.
me interested in that story.
Yeah, guys, try reading. Try picking up a book.
Have you ever
Um,
heard of reading?
it's another tangent. I'm
Mhm.
reading the Steve Jobs book right now.
Oh,
Uh,
really? Okay.
I
Continue.
because I've been talking to Killian about this. I'm miserable and unemployed. I'm like
Mhm.
the only way out. I think is the Sigma grind set, and so I'm trying to read about
You
you
just gotta
know
be. You gotta learn how to be a dick who belittles everybody around you to get what you
exactly
want. I
constantly
get it.
belittling
I get
people.
it.
I have a daughter. I abandoned her. I named a computer after her, but I still don't love her.
Okay, Owned is a way better podcast host than we are because he's tying it all together.
Yeah.
Didn't that Theranos chick, Elizabeth Holmes,
Even
wear
where
Issey Miyake like Jobs though?
I will say this: every
Absolutely
picture
not.
of Elizabeth Holmes, she's wearing a turtleneck. Jobs wore a mock neck.
Ooh,
She
deep
can't even get
cuts.
that right.
She's
Um,
doing like her own mental model of what Steve Jobs looked like. She couldn't even be
no, yeah,
bothered
yeah, she
to
couldn't
look
bother
at
to
an
be looking
actual
at a picture.
photo.
She's just like, he wore a black turtleneck. The thing I was gonna say, I'm reading the Steve Jobs book, and maybe I'm having a baby stroke. but
Okay.
Steve Jobs, like a figure in his life, like a friend, lover, I forget what it is.
Mhm.
Her name was Elizabeth Holmes, and like the book is
Really?
mentioning it multiple times. And every time I hear that, I'm like, you mean that
Weird.
weirdo who tried to copy you?
It's very odd. But so let me tie this all back together. Christian, if you don't mind me asking,
Uh-huh.
how big is your hog?
Jumbo, huge. I have to
It's a
wear a
jumbo
codpiece.
shrimp.
Yeah, it's a jumbo shrimp. It's a jumbo lump.
How you feeling about this Harley Davidson thing? Final verdict here. What do you think?
I think it's kind of interesting. I mean, I think it maybe it's less akin to the other card peoples
Yeah,
and more akin to like Carhartt Whip or like
I hope
Dickies
so.
VIP, because that kind of is at least that is where I think like Carhartt and Dickies and all the other brands that did that, I
Mhm.
think that they said, well, everybody's buying our vintage clothes. Let's just sell them expensive clothes. I think Harley it hired the same marketing guy, and he
Mhm.
said everybody's buying your vintage jackets. Just sell expensive jackets.
Right.
Um, and I do like Carhartt Whip, so
Sure. And I'll also say I think it's interesting. I like the idea of somebody coming in and trying to do innovative high-end leather work. It's
yeah.
something that has definitely its niche, but is, I think, a little underpenetrated, if I had to say so, in the modern landscape. So I'm kind of psyched to see that. I just hope it's done well and in an interesting and unique way. That's all we
Don't
can really
hold your
hope for, I think.
breath.
Definitely don't hold your breath. I mean, it's wishful thinking, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So
Uh,
this is kind of going into your current state of mind, Christian.
okay.
Have you ever thought about lighting yourself on fire?
Every day.
I
Every day
thought
I'm like,
so. So I thought that's how I knew you'd be really hyped on this next subject right here. Okay.
yes.
Have you ever heard of the brand? I don't even know. Helliot Emile.
Halata milk. Yes, I've heard of them. I've
Halata milk.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I also have known models, male models, and
Oh,
that's what they wear. Um
really?
yeah, and spoiler, they're usually abusive.
Oh,
Um but so yes, I'm familiar with the brand, but what does that have to do with your first question?
so let me show you. Here's what they did in their
What?
most recent fashion show. Whoa! Set aside the fact for a second that it just looks like Kanye West in Balenciaga. Um,
We'll set that aside. And for
we'll set
people
that aside.
just listening,
Mhm.
we're looking at a model walking down an industrial runway and they're on fire.
They're
Like
literally, yeah.
literally think like the Pink Floyd album cover.
Mhm. This
Um
is one of those situations you can see he's wearing one of those outfits that stuntmen wear that covers their entire face. They're probably slathered in that goo
yeah,
that keeps them from getting burned. So it's a legit stunt that they've got going on here. And that's, I think, the key word to focus on, which is that it is a
stunt.
runway stunt, right?
But he's still stunting.
He is still stunting. Let's take side tangent. The fit kind of
Is
it's an afterthought, right? We're agreed there.
I mean I what I'm thinking about is like
Mhm.
I'm trying to figure out because like I immediately assume like you like what you're saying like this has to be like kind of the stunt
Yeah.
guy sort of thing where you're wearing like
Mhm.
a full body thing to
Yeah.
protect them. So is this the actual apparel? I mean
That's a
maybe it
fantastic
is.
question. It's
Um
gotta be. I don't think they would send it down the runway without actually being in their
something they're about to
clothes.
sell. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not exactly the best way to sell your clothes because I can't tell what they look like or what the fit is like or what the materials are like because it's on fucking fire. Uh,
Yeah, I mean, the silhouette itself, he's like walking like Sasquatch, and the
mhm.
it kind of has big Sasquatch vibes.
It's that thing that you get. So another tangent here. I'm enjoying it though. I hope you are.
I
Um,
hope the audience is, let
one thing
alone
I've
me.
noticed with oversized stuff
Yeah.
in general, just the modern trend, the Balenciaga trend of stuff that's just way too big, is that real people look so silly walking down the street in them. Like I was watching that the new season of that F1 show on Netflix, the Drive to Survive show, and Lewis Hamilton, a fit king in his
Yeah,
own
Fit
right,
King.
was in this just super oversized kind of like, I don't know, nylon-y sort of thing. And he was just walking down and it was like this, right? And you could
Okay.
hear it just kind of like scraping up against itself as he's trying to like keep all his limbs separated. So that's just a side. I got the same vibe from this right here. This Hellier mule.
Jimmy, pull up that picture of Lewis Hamilton.
Okay.
We don't have anybody actually working on the pod other than us. So
I'm Jimmy.
yeah. You know, whenever I think of Lewis Hamilton plus fit, I think of that purple. I think it was a Versace one. Do you know what I'm talking about? You'll definitely get it if you Google it.
Yes. This is it. This is it.
Oh my God.
This is the one I was thinking of.
Okay, share your screen. No, we can't see. And also, if you're listening, I'm sure you've stopped listening by now. Whoa. Okay, so big fit, figuratively and literally. Wait, are we all thinking of the same? Have we always been thinking of the same fit? So he's wearing big ass purple outfit, and you're telling me that it's scratchy and awkward.
I think so. It might have been the pants, or I could be. I seem to remember it being blue. So we've got this, which is, if not the same, it's very similar.
Yeah. Yeah. If anybody doesn't know, Lewis Hamilton is a famous Formula One driver.
True.
Considered the world's best and a gentleman.
Lewis Hamilton apparently has some of the worst watches. That is so not my vertical, though.
Yeah.
That I could not speak to it one bit.
Mab, what watches? I mean, cowboy. Valentino. Oh, was it Valentino? And I said it was Versace.
Oh, okay. Okay, Valentino.
Per uns told us that.
So how do you feel about Fat Runway Stunts?
The meal one? Well, I like their clothing typically. Maybe sometimes it feels a little quote unquote over designed.
Here's my thing. So I just to back that up real quick, it's well designed and looks clean, but almost too clean for like the industrial vibe they have. All the hardware and stuff, it's so polished and shiny that it just seems to like lack some authenticity to me. But I do find it quite interesting.
Yeah, I really like those the liquid pants they have. The reality is, I don't know. Like, I like designers doing funny things, you know, like when Rick does something so funny, like he has like two models strapped to each other, or the model has his dick out, or the model's protesting Angela Merkel. But I don't know. I'm not taking away anything meaningful from the clothing looking at that one model, walking down, because like the entire time I'm thinking like, is that the actual outfit? It looks really big and bulky the way that like stunt guys look when they're on fire. And like now all I'm doing is just double guessing whether or not that's real clothes. I think that in terms of like, if I'm rating the stunts, I like that stunt above the fake news, fake outrage of like skinny mean girl model thinks she's a DIY master and ruins an archive Raf Simons piece, a future archive.
There you go.
Like I think that one's lamer than the models being on fire. At least like that's something different.
But I think it's interesting what you were saying about the design having to suffer for this, because they had to build the look around the stunt, right? They had to create a look that could be lit on fire and fit around whatever suit they need to be wearing, et cetera, et cetera. And I got the same thing. There was that last year at some point, the Bella Hadid spray on dress that they did, which I'll pull up
It-
right
and
quick.
Killian mentioned this before, and for all of our listeners, when I hear spray on dress,
Mhm.
I'm naturally thinking of the iconic Alexander McQueen spray on dress. Uh, is this an homage? Was
I
this
think it
Alexander
has to
McQueen?
be a knowing homage, but they had some, innovative type of thing that you spray it on and it turns into like a stretch type fabric. Um, and the same thing here. It's a nice stunt. It went crazy viral, but the design suffered because it has to be a dress that could be sprayed on and quickly tussled with, and then walk right. So you
Yeah,
end
I
up with
mean,
a very, very simple silhouette that if it wasn't sprayed on, nobody would look twice at.
yeah, and I think it's cool. I mean,
Mhm.
even just seeing this execution, I think it's cool.
Yeah,
And I'm typing and speaking, but my immediate thought is like I've seen this happen before, like years ago, decades ago.
yeah,
Alexander McQueen spray on dress. I'm googling it, even though I'm not going to share my screen.
hit it.
Am I hallucinating? Did I hallucinate this? I
No, no,
want to
you were
start.
it's
He did the same
100%
thing.
exactly the same thing, yeah.
Uh, I don't know. But long story short, it's cool, but are we just gonna copy everyone forever? I don't know. Maybe I
Fashion is cyclical, Christian, just get with the program, okay?
yeah, I don't know. I mean, like it would be sick if somebody could just spray on my clothes in the morning.
You
And
know
then
what? A
somebody.
novel application, maybe they're working on that patent right as we speak.
Maybe we should be working on that. Wait a second. Killian.
Yes.
We should start a brand.
We Do you think we can pull that off? Do we have the wherewithal to do this?
No, I don't. But it brings us perfectly to our next
Yes.
segment. Every week we try to do a segment, and usually we run out of time. But today's segment is when are we starting a brand?
When are we starting a brand?
And in this segment, I came up with this. I'm like, sometimes you just look at people starting a brand and you're like, I could do that. I could start a brand. I want to start a brand. I want to be a fashion designer. Um, crickets, crickets.
I mean, same.
Okay.
It's something that I absolutely. It's one of those things that you're lying in bed or you're in the shower in the morning and you're like, yeah, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
killing
starting
it.
my
I'm
thing.
killing it in my
This
head.
is gonna be so good. And then I don't know, you go to the fabric store or you sit in front of a sewing machine and you're like, I don't got this.
I don't got this at all. Like I've been being served a lot of TikToks of talented designers, talented young designers,
Mhm,
like creating pieces with meticulous detail and
mhm.
talent. And it's like I've taken it's like sewing classes at Mood Fabric, iconic in the Garment
Ooh,
District.
speaking of
They were,
Project Runway,
yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, yeah,
Tim
I'm sure
Dunn and
they.
Heidi Klum were in that very store where you
Yeah.
got your lessons, Christian. You're walking on the shoulders of giants here.
Oh, you know what's so crazy? And I mean, I'm just connecting the dots. The guy
Mhm.
teaching us, I think, he used to be on Project Runway. So
Full circle,
I don't
baby.
know. And his name was what's his face? The guy I was referencing before, Tim Gunn. But TLDR of it is,
Mhm,
I am I am a wreck. I can't sew. I try, and I try,
mhm.
and it turns out, and this is a surprise to me, that being good at that is a skill that requires time and dedication, and I don't have either of those
But
things.
Christian, this is important, and this is really key to this concept, this whole segment of when are we starting a brand. There are other ways to do it. If you are really dedicated to your fantastic ideas, you could find a shady manufacturer in many, many countries in the world, send them a tech pack, and just tell them, send me 10 of these in each size.
Make
And
this.
bada bing, bada boom, market it to your YouTube adoring fan base and
Hmm.
rake it in. So why haven't you?
Who are you, my dad?
Yeah, Christian,
Get
when are
off
you
my
when are you
back. Come
when are you
on.
gonna make something of yourself, son?
Yeah, you're right. We should Steve Jobs this. And by that
Mhm,
I mean
mhm.
find somebody who can actually do something, get them to make it.
Where's our Wozniak?
Yeah, we got to get a Woz of a fashion
Mhm.
person. You know, I've often daydreamed about pulling such a thing off.
Yeah.
And I think that here's the brass tacks. If we're going to start a brand, which we will,
Mhm,
and one day you guys will, I'll be laughing because my name will be in stars. Um,
mhm.
if we were going to start a brand, we need like actually some kind of good angle.
Yeah.
We can't just do we can't just be another Instagram brand
Mhm.
that's trying to do Raf Simons' Riot collection. We need to have a good angle.
But it's so
And
archival.
I know it's so
The archive
archival.
accounts would go mad.
They would go crazy. They would like I can imagine them like the compilation like archive accounts
Mhm,
reacting and it's like all
mhm.
the sped up, you know. That I don't even know what I'm saying. But Killian, you said something once, and you probably don't even remember because it
Oh.
was you were sleep talking, and we
Mhm,
were we were cabining together. We
mhm,
were on
mhm.
vacation. You mentioned, and I've had the same thought. Why isn't there like a brand like a la Issey Miyake
Mhm,
earlier? That's like we're high fashion. We're not necessarily tech wear, but we're all about innovation in
mhm.
this field because I have the pet theory that one day there will be a brand like virtually as big as Apple
Okay.
when wearable like tech when when there's the internet of everything like when our clothing is digified or is like has all sorts of microchips in it
Fully
there
integrated,
needs to
yep.
be a brand that is both a tech brand and a fashion brand.
Okay.
um that's a pet theory I have.
Mhm.
I think that's our brand. I think our brand is, and I know the big caveat is neither of us we don't have experience in like tactile science. We don't have experience in science. No, we're not
Period. Yeah.
engineers. We're not even fashion designers. Um,
But
I'm
we can
unemployed.
probably tell people what to do
We
if given
could.
the
I mean,
people to tell.
if what I think we need to do, and
Mhm.
we'll have this repeated segment, so we'll have time to kind of come back to it, think about it.
Okay.
Based on this Steve Jobs book that I'm reading,
Mhm.
what skills we need to harness is our sociopath skills. If
Yes.
you are insistent enough on things, if you are delusional enough, and
Mhm.
you just pursue whatever your ambition is with no regard for like feelings,
And here's
human
the beauty,
life.
tying right in with that. Here's the beauty of this segment is that we can just steal ideas from our viewers.
Hmm.
So, for instance, Cowboy says Issy pleats, but for rock climbing finance bros. And we now own that, and you will get no cut of that eventual product. So, thank you.
I fear because Matt, Cowboy. I know him because he's been a thorn in my side
Mhm.
for too long. He's the type who finna would end up suing us somehow, like with real lawyers. So
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
like I don't even understand, but that would happen. So whatever, you can have that one. I'll come up with a better one.
So
Um
here's the thing. So we're starting this brand. We have our unique angle. What are our action items to take away from our meeting today? What do we need to work on?
I think we should both draw a picture of
Okay.
one garment idea. You know what? That's
Mhm.
one of our action items. And for the
Mhm.
audience, I think you should also draw a picture. Can you post an
Please.
image in this chat? Uh,
Oh, that's a fantastic question.
maybe we
We'll
should.
figure out a way to make that
Yeah.
happen.
If not, I think I'm going to promote this. I'm going to
Mhm.
ask people to draw a picture
Mhm.
of your clothing idea for
Of
our
their
new fashion brand.
the tech yeah, we've got it's a tech integrated garment. Give us your best shot at it, and maybe you can be like our COO under our
Mm,
dual CEO role.
maybe
No,
you could be like an intern and we'll pay you in credit. We'll pay you in
that makes more
experience.
sense.
What would Steve
Yeah.
Jobs do? We'll
Mhm.
get the most talented people and screw them out of something.
Absolutely. So,
And
okay, here's what we do. this is what's going to happen is you're going to give us your idea, draw it, give it to us. We're going to use that to get like the Woolmark prize. And then we're not going to give you a cut of it whatsoever. That's the Steve Jobs way.
Yeah. That's also, you know, who was the Steve Jobs of our time, even though I assume most of us were alive when Steve Jobs was, who knows? You know, the Steve Jobs of our time was Virgil Abloh. And what he would do is somebody would DM him some design. Funny, you should DM me that. It's on the next season of Off-White. And
that's so weird. You have this idea of doing like 10 Nike sneakers reimagined through your own way. That's so crazy because I had the exact same idea like a week before you did. So.
That is mine. And he's a genius for it. Rest in paradise, though, guys. I you know, don't talk ill of the dead.
This is fantastic, though. I'm excited.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
And to our audience streaming, we usually end our shows by like asking them to say something hilarious at us, and then we respond to it live.
Hit us.
You know, I already mentioned I'm tired, so it better be.
Let us coast here for 10 more minutes.
Just coast.
You know what? Make it to the finish line on your backs.
I'm just going to go ahead and stop talking.
Okay. All right. We'll hold it down. So we've got an idea for our brand. We can just skip the design process. This is from Christopher. We can skip the design process entirely and just drop ship everything. So if you don't know, I am a subscriber to Andrew Tate's War Room. And one of the 3 Discord rooms that he has, obviously there's crypto, there's some other one, and then the room that I'm a subscriber to is all about drop shipping. So I'm way ahead of you there.
Killian, why? Why are you subscribers? So you pay?
Yeah, $50 a month.
No.
I want to be a top G. Is the thing.
No, I don't know if you're trolling me or not. I have no idea.
See, this is the thing. I conned Christian without even really knowing me to start a podcast with me. And I didn't tell him any of the terrible stuff that I'm really into deep down.
And you know what's funny is like one of the first times he started the con, I asked him pointed questions like, who'd you vote for? How vaccinated are you? Like, I was trying to get it out of him, and now he's like, you know, Andrew Tate has got some good ideas about how to have sex with a woman.
I told you the truth about everything except for that one InfoWars episode that I wrote the script for about Sandy Hook.
Directed Sandy Hook. You're like, listen, Alex, I got an angle for you on this whole Sandy Hook thing.
No, sorry, you misunderstood. I wrote and directed Sandy Hook.
Oh my god. Oh my god, guys.
There's layers to that one.
There is layers. It's a false flag operation. And you know what? I'll like do an aside to the audience. I think that is one of the most heinous things that has ever happened to people, that he like had continued that whole narrative that those parents were actors. Like that is so despicable.
It's fun. I live in Connecticut, so he's like a literal devil here.
Yeah, he's probably like enemy of the state.
Enemy number 1, exactly.
Yeah.
So we're getting a bit shamed here. We're being told that we need less thought shaming next episode and to let them serve.
Listen, I'm a woke Wojak snowflake, and I only let non-binary people serve. I only let
what if they're a thought though?
The conflict.
Overload.
Listen, I will let people serve if they are serving. But I think that model was just being boring. I think it was boring. And I think I think her whole career is based on her body. And if I was that hot, this stream would have 1 billion people watching it.
The amount of feet pics that would be on my OnlyFans would be unreal. Oh, shit. You don't give that out for free.
That one's for free.
My God.
For our viewing audience or our listening audience, there was foot on cam.
There were at least 3 toes.
Yeah.
I think that's all he has.
Yeah. That's
I'm
pretty
being
interesting.
told that my videos feel like they could fit for Cheddar, which I think is what they show at the gas station on those screens.
Oh my
So,
god. Dang.
so
Damn. That's like if somebody said that to me, I would be like, "All right, tomorrow's the day. I'm gonna end it." Those are like I don't even own I haven't owned a car for like 10 years and I still know about that. And like anytime like whenever I've experienced those stupid videos, I'm like, this is the worst thing of my life. Having to
Mhm.
listen to this dumb video while I'm filling up my
You're
car.
fucked. You're fucked.
Uh,
I probably can't say who I work for, but I do video work for a large corporation, and we once had like our CEO do a Cheddar interview. So I had to like manage and shoot the interview, knowing that it was just going to end up playing at gas stations,
oh yeah, with
and
like
that was a head trip.
with the Joe Biden sticker next to the gas pipes going, I
Yeah,
did this.
I did that.
And that is wild and horrendous. Uh is this the end of the show, or do we keep going? I forget.
I don't know. If anybody has anything else, feel free to throw it out. I'm sure we could spare a couple more minutes. Okay,
Oh,
owned is trying to save face here and say it was a genuine compliment. I will choose to believe you.
maybe there's another Cheddar. Maybe it wasn't because I'm
Mhm.
thinking of like you go to like freaking Exxon Mobil or whatever, or
Yeah.
Shell, and you go and you say I need extra premium to fill up
Mhm.
my Tesla, and they make you watch a video. They
So
make you watch a
I
video.
will say Cheddar, I am 99% sure does have some at least channel that they throw on TVs at the gas station, but I think Owned is right that they do have like a BuzzFeedy type of channel. That's just kind of what you'd expect from that type of outlet. So I accept that it was a compliment and thank you very much.
I mean, it probably is a compliment. At the end of the day, it's like if I could even have a fraction of the success. I was at a networking event. Here's something that people don't know.
Mhm.
I went to a New York City networking event today, and people are like, "What are you doing?" Like, I don't have a job. But if I could say, actually, I make all the videos for Cheddar, like just
Mhm.
to have those kind of numbers, have those kind of digits, uh,
The analytics alone,
the
baby.
analytics.
So maybe you can give some context on this. What are we being told here in
When
this
are we
tablet?
getting the videos from your YouTube poll, Christian, next year? You know what? Take a hike, Christian. L. Um,
There are
I
enough
was just
Christians in this town, baby.
I was just editing the video today. I was just editing it today, so Sunday, presumably. um, I just sometimes masterpieces take a little bit of time.
I've
But
got one. We can finish on this because I'm just
okay,
gonna let you cook. Okay.
okay. Oh my god.
Pure Ounce asks, "What do we
No, no,
think
no, no,
of
no.
Eddie Slimma, going
Eddie
back to
Slim
his
Man.
roots with the last two Celine shows?"
I don't even know. You know what? I don't even have a take. That's like it's like when you guys asked me about Ann Demila Meister last time, and I did meet up with the Demila Monsters.
Mhm.
And there
Tell
was
him
some
what you
juicy
really did
stuff.
because you committed theft.
Okay,
Okay.
fine. So it's a crazy wild night in the big city, and we go to this one bar. It's like bar hopping, whatever. If you guys couldn't piece together, I'm a little unhinged recently, and so like we went to this one bar and we're like sitting down, and there's just a free tequila shot, and everyone's like, "Ew, yuck, gross. Whose tequila shot is this?" And I said, "Mine," and I ate it. I swallowed that because it's free liquor, and it's sterile. It's not like it doesn't even matter. The
It's
grossest person on
sterile.
earth could have put their mouth on that, and it still would have been fine.
You're the only
Uh,
person I've ever heard describe alcohol as sterile. Like I know
it's
that's technically the
it's
truth
gotta be.
to some degree, but goddamn.
No, there's no virus living in there,
And
so I ate that.
for my part, to save some face for myself, I'll say that I'm not dead inside, and I respect and often very much like what Eddie Slimane does. So
Mm,
there.
I respect him. I just take him to task sometimes, but
It's a
I get that.
diplomatic answer.
Yeah. We'll talk about Celine next time, maybe,
Let's do it. Yeah, happy to.
because I'm not. I have to speak to my lawyers before I talk about him.
Right.
Uh, so
We made
Big
it.
K, we made it. Oh my
Yeah.
god, we made it. Where should people follow you?
They should follow me on my YouTube channel, Low Luxury, all one word. Instagram, Low Luxury with underscores on either end. How about yourself?
They should follow me at Brave New Wear, which is, I guess, 3 words. But type those words in, and if you
You'll
typed
find
in
it.
Brave New World, it's the wrong thing. So follow me there.
Type in Dickies jacket comparison, and you'll find him.
Yeah, I'm actually famous for a Carhartt jacket comparison.
Fuck.
I'm famous.
Shit.
And so that's my YouTube and my Instagram. I mean, yeah, my Instagram is my first and last name, Christian_Sciabetta. And if you have any job openings, you can send them to Sciabetta email. That's my last name, the word email, at gmail.com. I'm a digital marketing professional working in the fashion space. We'll see.
Hell yeah, that's gonna get you the job right there. We did it.
Yeah,
We've solved
we
so
did
many
it.
problems tonight.
All
All
right.
right, and everyone, make sure you come back with your drawings next time.
Yeah.
We'll figure out a way to manage those. And that's it. This has been the Bias Cut. Thank you so much for coming, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Keep it cut.
Bye.